Welcome to Dr. Sowat's Guide to Case Studies. This four-part guide will discuss how to approach case studies in a way that's productive, useful, and fun. In this four-part series, we will discuss the purpose of a case study, the steps that you should follow in preparing a case study. You'll see there are 4 steps that we will go into in detail. We'll take a look at some of the common pitfalls and other go wrong. We will also present in a checklist format the components that will be required in your written work and how the case study will be graded. In this particular video, part 1, we will cover the purpose of the case study and the exploration step. Parts 2, 3, and 4 of the videos cover the remaining points of the outline. Okay, let's begin. Let's take a look at the purpose of a case study. The primary purpose is to provide you experience in managing complex real-world problems. Real-world problems are not quite as clear-cut as textbook exercises make them out to be. They're far murkier. What we want to do is our goal is to mirror real-world problems as much as possible. We also want to help you develop a deep understanding of what really happens with communication in organizations. In other words, help you take a deep dive into the communication of a particular situation. Additionally, we want to help you link course concepts to particular situations. From the course concepts, we want to help you develop a framework for analyzing problems, setting strategy, developing the tactics, and then being able to take those and apply it to a real-world situation. And we'd like you to extend on that by exploring the relationships between concepts, models, principles, and ideas that are presented in the various chapters. For example, let's say you identify feedback as an issue in a particular case study. We'll take a look at the concepts or models from other chapters in the book. For example, culture, how culture might influence feedback, and vice versa. Also, we want this to be fun. We would like to provide you a venue, creative in solving these problems. The bottom line is that people hire us to solve problems and to add value. And doing casework, doing case studies is a great way to experience scenarios that we might face in our organizations in the very low-risk environment of a classroom. So let's take a look at the steps that we should follow. This is a very important diagram because it presents a very sound, thoughtful approach to work case studies. We'll start with exploration, follow it with analysis, setting strategy, and then tactics. In other words, we want to start by getting big and then getting small. The exploration stage, we want to start by expanding the problem, and then we'll begin to narrow it down with analysis, specific ideas to formulate strategy, and then on to tactics. Unfortunately, many people start by jumping right to the tack without any type of analysis, and then they look for data to support their particular tactics. This, in effect, becomes our thinking routine by following these steps. What follows now are slides that develop these steps in more detail. So let's take a look at the exploration step. We want to start by gathering 100 facts about the case, in any kind of order, randomly generated. Cast a wide net over the case. Why do we want to do this? Because we don't want to overlook anything important or to make stupid mistakes. One situation that comes to mind is when a student group was presenting findings to a CEO about his company, what they found about his company. And one comment that they made, or one problem that they identified, was that in his organization, the longest anyone had worked there was for 3 years. His response, "My company has only been in existence for 3." Now, had this group done the 100 fact exercise, they certainly would have determined that his company had an existence of only 3 years, and that just would not have happened. The 100 facts that you gather will appear in Appendix A of your report. They will be behind the report as support material. You may also need to conduct additional research in the form of interviews, surveys, and or groups. As a result, of gathering the facts, as a result of your research, you are now able to make grounded assumptions. What do we mean by grounded assumptions? They are significant assumptions. They are not trivial. And there is some basis in reality for them. For example, let's say you're working with McDonald's or for a case for McDonald's. One assumption that would not be grounded would be that you cannot assume that all McDonald's customers can read or speak English. That would not be a grounded assumption. At this point, I invite you to tune into part 2 of the Dr. So What Case Study Guide, which will discuss the analysis step in considerable detail.